So I'm 15 years old. I'm living in the housing projects of North Minneapolis, and I'm trying to figure out how to make money other than how everybody else in my neighborhood was making money. And I decided I'm going to start a painting company, because growing up in detention centers and foster homes, anytime I got in trouble cussing or swearing, as punishment, they'd make me paint. So I had a little experience in how to paint. So I went to my friends in shop class, and I said, would you please make me some flyers up that said Saeks Painting and Light Construction? Now, it said light construction because I didn't have any experience with construction, so I figured I could figure out light construction, right? So they made me up some flyers, said Saeks Painting and Light Construction, and I go and I hand them around at grocery store billboards, on car windshields, and I hand them all over the neighborhood waiting for that first call. And finally someone called me and said that they'd like me to come out and quote the job. So I'm all excited. And I think, I know, I better get some help. So I go to the local paint store, and I walk up to the paint manager and I said, hey, I just started this new business. I have somebody who'd like me to give them a proposal for the job, but I don't have any experience. And could you please help me? He took a look at me and said, kid, get the heck out of my store. Now, I don't know why he did that. And then I thought about it. I was long hair, army jacket, 9mm. I probably didn't look like the business owner that I was going to be, but I was persistent. And he said, okay, I'll help you. So the first thing he does is he goes over to the shelf and he grabs a quart of paint. And he takes a paintbrush and he starts spackling me with it. And I'm thinking, what the heck are you doing? I said something else, but I said, what are you doing? He says, you don't look like a painter. I said, great, now I do. And he gave me a clipboard and a calculator and some instructions, and I got in my car, you guys do the math, I was 15, drove over to the house, and right as I walk up the stairs to knock on the door, my self-talk kicked in. Ford, you can't do this. You're not smart enough. You're not old enough. You don't have enough experience. All those little voices in my head telling me I shouldn't do it. But I thought, what have I got to lose? So I knocked on that door. I walked in. I took that calculator and that clipboard, and I walked around that room, and the gentleman said, I need the ceilings fixed where the ceiling fans are. Okay, that's a little over my head, but I wrote that down. We go into the kitchen. He says, I want the kitchen kiltzed. Don't know what that is. Write that down. We go down the hall to the bathroom, and he says he wants oil-based paint here and flat-based paint here. Now I'm way over my head. I told him I had to go back to my office to prepare the proposal. I get in my car, you do the math, get in my car, drive back to the paint store, go in with the paint manager. He sits down and helps me calculate all the supplies I'm going to need and how much I should charge for the proposal. I get back in the car, drive back to the house, walk up the door, knock on the door. This time, when the door opens, the man's wife is there. She takes one look at me and steps right behind her husband. I'm thinking, this isn't going to go well. But I said, here's the proposal. It's $1,025. I need 50% up front and 50% on completion of the job. Then the next sentence came. She looked at me and said, do you have any experience? Now, this was a critical point in my business. I had to decide, do I tell them I repainted the whole north wing of the Hennepin County Detention Center? Or do I tell them what I told them? And what I told them was, if you're not 100% satisfied with the job, you don't have to pay. She said, honey, write him a check. I got that check for $525, which is more money than I made in a couple months. I went and sat in my '66 Chevelle Super Sport with no tags, insurance, or title, and I thought, I'm going to learn how to do this. And I did. That first year, I earned $35,000, and I had 3 crews working for me with their average age around 40 years old. And I learned some very important lessons that year. One of the most important lessons I learned is what happens when you give $35,000 to a kid from the projects. They spend 36, which was a whole other thing about management and cash flow and inventory. All that came later in my other businesses that I've had. And since that time, I've had 17 different businesses. I've invented products, sold millions of dollars worth of products in multiple channels of distribution, from direct sales, internet, and through the internet, through mass merchants and Walmart and big box stores, through specialty chain stores, through franchisees, through a wide variety of channels of distribution, which is what we're going to talk today about, which is how you can grow your business. Because at the end of the day, there's only a couple ways you can grow your business, right? You can get more customers, you can sell to them more often, so increase the frequency of purchase, you can increase the average transaction, or you can reduce your expenses. That's pretty much it. Okay, we can go home now. No, so really, so what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover a lot of different things on how to grow your business, how to increase traffic to your websites, how to monetize social media. We're going to look at the gamut of things that you can do as a business to help you find, attract, and keep your customers.
Discover how Ford Saeks can help make your next event a success.